Okay, so this is a video for 6.5 Law of Sines. I'm going to be going pretty quickly, so make sure you pause it if you need to write down some stuff. And at a certain point, once you get the idea, pause it before you see the answer, and then play it when you're ready to see the answer. Okay, so before we start, you need to know a few things from geometry. One thing is that triangles have 180 degrees, which I think you probably already know that. Another thing would be the smallest angle is always across from the shortest side. So if this is my smallest angle, this is going to be the shortest side. If this is my biggest angle, then this would be my longest side. Okay, medium across from medium. We're going to use that to check our work. Another thing that I'm going to need is to know measurements that make up a triangle. So if I were to give you three numbers like 1, 2, and 3 and ask you, does that make a triangle? The answer would be no, because 1 plus 2 is not greater than 3. So for instance, if I gave you 3, 4, and 6, does that make a triangle? The answer is yes, because 3 plus 4 is greater than 7. So that's a review from geometry. The actual law of sines is this formula. Sine of A over A equals sine of B over B equals sine of C over C. The A, B, and C that you see up here, these are all angles, and the A, B, and C that you see down here are all sides. The most important thing is that the angle A and side A must be across from each other. Same for all the other letters. So a lot of these I won't give you pictures, you'll have to draw the picture. Make sure that angle A and side A are across from each other. Okay, so law of sines works for these cases, which you might be having some flashbacks to geometry, which can be good or bad. Angle, angle, side is when you have an angle, and then a side. Pretty straightforward. Angle, side, angle is when you have an angle, a side, and then an angle. The law of sines works for these two cases because it has information across from each other. So anytime you have an angle and a side that are across from each other, that's going to be a law of sines problem. Eventually I'll tell you when to use law of cosines. In this one, I don't have anything across from each other as of now, but if I know two angles in a triangle, can I find the third? Yes. Now I have angles across from each other. So that's when the law of sines work. Case 2 is kind of an oddball. This is side-side angle, which, if you remember from geometry, spells the bad word backwards. And you were told not to trust it. And this is the reason why. This is called the ambiguous case. Okay? So if I have a side, and then an angle, one of three things are going to happen. One, it's going to work out. I'm going to get one triangle, and that's all there is to it. Another thing that could happen is you get two different triangles. And you could possibly not have a triangle at all. So if I were to actually give you a triangle that has side lengths 7, 5, and 30, one of these three things would happen. You might be able to make two different triangles with those pieces. You might not be even able to make a triangle, or you might just have one triangle. Okay, so just to give you an idea of what I'm talking about with the ambiguous cases. So I have my 5, 7, and 30 degree angle. In this case, this would actually make two triangles. So I would have the light purple one, or I could have the whole picture. If I were to change one of these sides, let's say I had 5, 13, and 30, you couldn't even make a triangle with that. So that's what I'm talking about with the ambiguous cases. And I'm going to show you how to actually do that. So here's how the law of sines works. First of all, we always want to get a picture. So I've got angle A, so side A is 7, angle B is 45, we don't know side B, angle C is 75. So this is my angle, side, angle case. First thing you always want to do is if you know two angles in a triangle, go ahead and find the third. So 180 minus 75 minus 45 is 60 degrees. Okay? After that happens, I now have information across from each other. So I'm going to use the law of sines, which says I do sine of 60 over 7 because they're across from each other. Then, if I want to find side B, I'm going to do the sine of 45 over B. This is a proportion, so you cross multiply. I'm going to take 7 times sine 45 and divide by sine 60. And just type it in the calculator like that. Make sure you do that with me. You should get 5.7. Make sure your calculator is in degree mode. And then if I want to find side C, I can do the same thing. Sine of 60 over 7 equals sine of 75 over C. Again, cross multiply. Try to do that on your own. Make sure you get the same thing as me. That time I got 7.8 for C. So what we're going to do is check our work using some basic geometry. Is the smallest angle across from the shortest side? Yes. Is the biggest angle across from the biggest side? Yes. So that's a good indication that we are correct. All right. We're going to look at another one. This is a case 2 problem, which is an angle side-side problem. So I've got angle A and side A. I've got angle B and side B. So this is angle side-side. This is one of the ambiguous cases, so one of 3 things will happen. This one, I'm telling you, we're going to just have one solution. Be careful anytime you have a radical when you're typing in the calculator, you want to throw some extra parentheses around it. Okay, so we're going to set up the law of sines because I have information across from each other. So we're going to do sine 45 over 7 radical 2 equals sine of B over 7. This is very different from the last one because I'm looking for an angle. If you remember from our last section in SOHCAHTOA, we found an angle by pushing the second button. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cross multiply, do 7 sine 45 over 7 radical 2. Like I said, throw some extra parentheses in there. So 7 sine 45 divide by 7 radical 2. You should get 0.5. Now you want to hit second sine of 0.5 and get 30 degrees. So I'm going to put that in B's place. Once you know the 2 angles, you can just subtract from 180 to get the other ones. So that gives me 105. And I could do another law of sines problem to actually find this missing piece. Sine of 105 over x equals sine of 30 over 7. I could still use sine of 45 over 7 radical 2, it doesn't matter. Once you cross multiply, you should get 13.5. And now we're going to check our work. Is the smallest angle across from the smallest side? Yes. Big across from big? Yes. If you get a domain error, it's possible that a triangle can't be formed. If this isn't true, then you're going to have to try another case. And that's what I'm going to show you in this next problem. So this is kind of a lot of work, but just stick with me. So I'm going to draw a picture. Angle A, B, C, 43.1. Make sure the little a and big A are across from each other. Okay, so we're just going to solve the triangle. We're just going to find everything that we can. So this is across from each other. That's good. If I know this side, the only thing that I'm able to find is angle B. So let's go ahead and do that. So sine. So I'm going to cross multiply. I got a long decimal, 0.9122. Okay. if you want to, you can hit second sign and then type all of that in. Now, if you don't want to type all these decimals, all you have to do is hit second sign, second answer. That's a little negative button. You see that at the bottom of your calculator? It will actually copy and paste that for you. So that's what I'm going to do. Second sign, second answer. And I get 65.8 degrees approximately. So I'm going to put that right up here. Okay, so far so good. 43.1 gives me that. 65.8 gives me that. So I'm going to do 180 minus both of those angles to find out 71.1. Now, if I went back to that applet and I actually put in these measurements, you would see that it makes two triangles. So this is why it's a two-solution problem. So this is actually an answer. This is correct. If I actually found this third side, you would see that small is across from small, big is across from big, all of that. To find the second case, and eventually we'll do a worksheet where you'll see the word second case. When you see that, that's an indication that you're going to have to subtract from 180. So when I found angle B, I got 65.8. There's a second case for angle B, which is when I do 180 minus 65.8. And that is 114.2. So I'm going to go back to my original problem, 43.1. Everything is the same here. Now I'm going to look at case 2, where that's my B. Okay, so I'm going to pause there for a second. The main thing I wanted to point out is that when you have side-side angle, there are three cases. One, you have one solution, two solutions, or it can't even happen. So if you see the word second case in a problem, subtract from 180. That is the main thing that I wanted you to see, and I'll talk more about this at a later time. Okay, I do want to show you a no solution problem. So we've got angle A is 42. I put that wrong place. And B is 122. Okay, so this time I'm going to find angle B. Sine of 42 over 70 equals sine of B over 122. When you cross multiply sine 42 times 122 divided by 70, you get 1.166, blah, 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 blah. You don't know this yet, but sine can't be greater than 1. So when you hit second sign, second answer, you're going to get a domain error. That's not because you've done something wrong, it's because there is no solution. Okay, so let's go ahead and have you try a couple on your own. This would be a good point to pause the video and then play it when you're ready to see the solution. First thing you always want to do is find the third angle. So 180 minus both of those. Once you have information across from each other, sine of 114 over 65 equals, let's just focus on finding this piece for now. Sine of 46 over x. Cross multiply. We got 51.2 for this. And if you wanted to know the other side, you could just do another law of sines problem. Alright, let's look at this one, because this is an isosceles triangle. Anytime the legs are the same, the base angles are the same. We talked about that when we did our area. So if you subtract both 68s, you're going to get 44. And now you're going to be able to do a law of sines problem. So I'm going to stop there. I'm going to make another video that shows you some application. So when you're done with this video, go ahead and play the next one.